So, how do you go about getting your own personal Necramech in Warframe? Your own personal big gigantic metal corn on the cob? The one you've been so desperately seeking for? That's the question that a lot of you have been asking since yesterday's video. This heavy metal mech is locked behind Syndicate Rep in the heart of Deimos, but also behind Mastery rank 14 for certain items you need to pick up to progress in that rank. So it's not just a case of going out, grabbing a mech and you're done, that's it. Rep is needed with the new Necrolide Syndicate. You need rank 3 in order to buy the blueprints and start to build your personal mech. But before that, you need to farm a lot of resources. Now, the Necrolide Syndicate is behind a hidden door, just like in Fortuna, that secret door, which is off to the left of Mother in the Necrolisk. Simply pop into your Tenno mode and the doors will open. And to increase your reputation with this syndicate, you will need to kill Necramechs. Now, enemy Necramechs, those ones down in the isolation vaults, and pick up a lot of their matrices. Now, 3 different variations of matrices will drop from these enemies, which will give you different amounts of rep per one. So there's one for 5,000 rep, one for 2,500 rep, and one for 1,000 rep. Now, for every Necrolide rank, you will need to sacrifice certain amounts of resources or items, blueprints, and tokens before you can reach the next rankings. So this is the list of items you're going to need. The 3 weapon blueprints you see in this list, you can choose as a reward for ranking up with the Entrati Syndicate, or you can buy them for standing off farther out in the Necrolisk. Now, the matrices only drop, like I said, off enemy Necramechs, and you're going to need to do tier 1, tier 2 and tier 3 isolation vaults in order to get the different variations of these matrices. Now, if you're wondering how to run isolation vaults, then I have a video showcasing that from a few days ago, complete with some of the secret rooms. The link to that video is in this video's description if you want a little bit, I guess, more information on how to run those. But once you go ahead and you've got all of the resources and you've ranked up, you've hit maximum rank with the Necrolide Syndicate, you will have 4 blueprint parts that you will need to buy and then build before you can fully craft your mech suit. You will have the main blueprint, which you can choose as a ranking up reward. You will have the casing blueprint, the engine blueprint, the capsule, and of course the weapon blueprints as well. Each one of these needs a damaged Necramech part. So the weapon pod blueprint needs a damaged weapon pod, the capsule blueprint needs a damaged capsule, and so on. Now, to get these items, the damaged items, you will need to again run isolation vaults, because they are a reward from those bounties, or they have a chance, I believe, to drop from enemy mechs, or you can now trade them in trade chat of other players who have them and are willing to sell them to you. Now, Scintillant is also going to be needed for one of the parts for, I think it's the pod. This is another reward from bounties, from normal bounties out in Cambion Drift, or from running isolation vaults, because they can drop from enemy mechs or they can float around inside some of those vaults, kind of like wisps do out in the plains of Eidolon, but they are a rare item and they can be hard as hell to see. On top of all of that, you will need plenty of fishing parts, plenty of mining metals and gems in order to craft these items. But other than that, it's just going to take you a few days to get up in the rankings, to get all of the, I guess, the resources needed to build these things. So you're going to have to run isolation vaults a lot to get everything you need. If you're looking for another way to grab a few extra resources, then don't forget that the pillars scattered around Cambion Drift can be activated by your Tenno's Void Damage Amp. Once activated, if you kill enemies with Void Damage beside some of these, they will drop increased amounts of resources. Vohm, I think, and Yahoo are the better pillars to aim for, with Vohm, I believe, being the one that can drop the rarer resources. Other than that, you need to start fishing and mining a lot and running the isolation vaults. Oh, and be Mastery rank 14 to get some of the weapon blueprints before you can get up in the next ranking with the Necrolide Syndicate. So that's how you get your own mech. It's pretty straightforward, just a lot of grinding, a lot of resources, a lot of reputation that you need to increase with, but hopefully it helps you. Like I said, the isolation vault video is in the description of this one, or I'll pin it as the top comment, and as always, thanks for watching.